What is up, team? Welcome back to So Rare First Pitch. I'm Alex Hooper. Let's see, what do we got for you today? A giveaway. We got a couple of giveaways, actually. I'm going to be giving away a Darrin Ruf limited card on the show today. Also, I'm going to lead you to water on another giveaway if you haven't entered to that. Got some rewards to open. And then basically, I'm going to spend the rest of this time answering some questions submitted by you, the viewers. I'm blown away by the level of support that we've gotten and the people that I've connected to. It's so cool. I like just talking with folks. Like I don't mind answering questions. I gave away all my projections to an entire Discord today because someone asked. And but that's, you know, those are people that have given back to me in a lot of ways too. So if you message me and say, "Hey, give me projections," probably not going to do it. But I did have someone who has given me so much knowledge ask me for my projections, which was very cool. I don't want to out them because I want them to retain the level of perceived knowledge that I know they do have, but I don't want to make them sound any less knowledgeable. But this is someone who I really look up to, and have for some time. Actually, one of the people who's like the reason that I'm here. So that was cool. Um, yeah, so let's get into it. Just a couple of housekeeping notes real quick. We've moved on to our own Twitter feed. We're going to be moving on to our own YouTube channel as well. I'm talking me and Keith. Um, Let me show you right now. The window that I want. I don't want to show you everything because I got some notes to read. So here is the new Twitter handle. So Rare First Pitch. It's So Rare FP. Obviously, we have some work to do on the branding, but there's our logo. You can find that logo on Spotify, where you also get the video feed, and also Apple Podcasts. So subscribe there if that's a preferred way to consume this content. And then again, I'm gonna show you this right here, another giveaway on top of the one that we're gonna do today. Um, you can win Keith's Elvis Andrews, or you can choose his Kyle Finnegan, or if you want to get more into the soccer side, you can get his Mats Sundins. I'm going off Matt Sundin, I believe the hockey player. Mats Suntens. Suntens sounds more Dutch, so that's what I'm gonna go with. But anyway, Andy's the 69th mint, so that's fun. You can follow Sorare FP, give it a like, give it a retweet, and he will be giving that out. He says tomorrow, as in today, as in right now when I'm recording this on September 9th, later in the day. Hopefully we can get those numbers up before he picks, so go ahead and do that now. Pop me on pause, all of that. So let me look at my notes here. I did that. I plugged the new Twitter. Hopefully you can't see all of my screen. All right, let's do some rewards then. We're going to do some sell or hold. Really quick, we got tier 3, and then a tier 2 rare, which I hope is good. All right. My common team, which is normally trash, was in the top 50%. Who do we got? This person's just going to plug right into my lineup, probably. Moogie Betts, right? My boy, my boy Joey. I will play him over some of the slappies I have on my team. I wish he was eligible at DH too, because my corner infield situation is trash. But Joey Gallo could actually win you a game week because he's got that kind of power. Tier 3 limited. How about a Joey Gallo? Okay. Freddie? Oh, hell yeah. That's cool. That's a nice tier 3. He is a starter. I am going to put him directly into my limited all-star team. He is he's listed as a starting. That's trash. I hate that. I don't want that at all. I can't play him in my relief pitcher spot. Okay, I was asking folks for to let me know like who has changed. So why have they not taken the relief pitcher tag off of Strider? I know why. It's because they want him to keep going for buku bucks. That's ridiculous. All right. JK, let's look into selling him. Jason Alexander of Seinfeld fame. 0.0019. That's actually pretty high. This feels dirty. So he's auctioning as a starter. People have him selling as a starter, but yeah, see, the relief pitcher is going for way more, as he should. Let's see if this 0019 is a starter or a reliever from Ambassador here. Probably won't take us. It's probably going to crash. Wow, what a swing. What a swing of emotions. I did not know they changed him. I was literally just talking to, I believe, So Rare Monkey, um, if he could give me some examples of people that they switched their positional eligibility. Josh Rojas was one where they added third base eligibility. Jason Alexander, see, he's listed as a relief pitcher here. They straight up changed him to a starting pitcher, and he is. He has been. Um, yeah, I feel like if I try and sell him as a relief pitcher, like that's gonna feel dirty. But it doesn't seem like anyone's getting duped. So that card's essentially worthless to me because he's not a very good starting pitcher. He's just better. He has a good floor relative to relief pitchers. So I'm gonna hold on to the relief pitcher rare I have of Jason Alexander for sure. Okay, last one. 17th, man. 17th. Let's look at this team really quick, by the way. Bo Bichette, 121 points, the record, and I still managed only 17th. I went into Dylan Cease's start last night against the A's, knowing he should probably perform well, but Vladimir Guerrero has made me Sadimir Guerrero. He's been Badimir Guerrero recently. Needed him to prop me up. Teoscar went on the paternity list. I lost a game. Springer was good. Arenado was meh. Had Strider in the wrong lineup, 17 more points over here, and I'm good. Or if you say, all right, I played him over Kepler, I get 123 points here, 323. What would that have done? Second place. That's a tier 2 super rare. Yeah. So woulda, coulda, shoulda. Uh, if ifs and buts were candies and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas, right? Okay. God, I've had a bad run. So my tier 2, I've won more tier 2 rares. I'm just going to delay this even further. I want to build the anticipation and just make this show super long. So I'm going to go to my gallery here. You can see how much my gallery is worth. Here are my soccer cards, SO5 stats, manager stats. I just want to look at my rewards also. Okay. Baseball. Oh, it doesn't show me my overall rewards. Sorry, this is me just clicking through. Just my transactions. Okay. Doesn't matter. They're updating that. I just wanted to see. I am the king of T2 super or rares currently. Hunter Renfroe, I sold for like 0.028, and then now he's like double that price. I got Andrew McCutchen, who was all right this week. There are so many T2s that I would really like, and then there are a few that just are not good. So here we go. I've been let down here pretty quick. I just want to win a tier 1. I have not won a tier 1 in either sport. So I'm just hoping this tier 2 is good. Renfro, McCutchen. That's great. I'm actually really happy. I want to win pitching because like I don't want to pay up for rare pitching. I actually that's really cool. He shouldn't be a tier 2. I guess at this point maybe you should. All right, let's go to the famous spreadsheet. We are going to go to. You're going to be getting a longer look at this here soon. Brandon Woodruff, 13th highest projected starting pitcher, 0.044. I could sell him and move up and get a Christian Javier. I don't know what his role is going to be. I already have a Charlie Morton. I could get him a Colors. A couple other guys. Huh. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with him. Honestly, he's supposed to start. He is slated to start against Cincinnati this weekend, and I actually think like my projections don't pick up on it, but I think he's going to slot in. All right. Cool. I'm very happy with that reward. For once, I'm all my tier 2s are Brewers. I've gotten McCutchen, Renfro, and now Brandon Woodruff. That's kind of wild, but let me make sure that I accept my guys. Wow. that gives me some flexibility. I'm gonna look at my lineups really quick. Sorry, I'm not sharing my whole screen, but Giolito, Morton. Wish I had some projections on Brandon Woodruff. Okay. Let's go to the mailbag though. Okay. So this is how, first of all, this is how you entered my giveaway, and we'll do another one on Monday, and probably gonna ask the same question, or maybe change it up if we don't get any results, but I'll probably follow up with this. So our first question is from Schforkal, SCH4KAL. I actually just linked up with him on Discord. He says, can you explain us your Excel sheet? This is probably the biggest question that I get. So let's take a look. Okay, I'm just going to start at the beginning. I'm going to let you know how I did it. I don't want to give away too much secret sauce. I mean, just by you seeing my hitters projected rest of season, like you could use that and build your team. Like pause the video, go to that, look at what I have showing, and you can build yourself a nice team that way. It's that easy. That's rest of season. That's not next season. All of that. So I use my weekly projections the most. So I'm going to start there. So here are my top 10 projected hitters for tonight. The game week starting 9/19 or 9/9 rather. And I showed this on my video earlier. They have not really changed a whole lot. Dalton Varsho's still at the top. So as you can see down here, I have, Monday hitter projections, Monday pitcher projections, Tuesday, because most places you can get daily projections, or weekly projections, or rest of season projections. So I'm just taking multiple dailies as my base. I have a base that I use, and then I manipulate it a bunch based on weather, park factor, some baseball savant metrics that I've gone over in my cheat codes video, expected WOBA, hard hit percentage, stuff like that. I weigh them, and then that's how I get these projections. And I'm shooting like 60% on results. Like I said, I have not yet won a tier 1 result. I'm going to chalk that up to variance. There's probably something in my process that I could be doing better, but I'm doing my best, and I spent a lot of time on this. So that's how I get these projections. So I have them midweek, I have them weekend, and then here are the last sale prices, which I'll show you later. And then I give you, like, this is a value calculation. So like the midweek projection divided by their price, and then higher numbers mean you can get a lot of value. Like Ketel Marte this weekend is limited. He's the 9th projected hitter, and then you can get his limited for peanuts, and then you can get his rare for not much more, and I did. So this is what these values are. I'll show you the top values probably, although it might not let me. Oh, so it's just out of these guys. So yeah, you can sort by that, but that's what I'm doing here. Pitching, same thing. These guys aren't pitching, but whatever. Same sort of thing. Projections that I pull in using a VLOOKUP. Those columns are hidden. I pull them into the Monday through whatever, and then I sum them up here. That's what I do. I'm not going to show you my projections because that is how I have my edge. I hope you understand. If you learn baseball statistics, you can figure out what you like and figure out how to do that. Yono says soccer. AJ, he makes his own projections. He's, a data analyst who is not really, I don't think he was really into baseball. I know he's a Cardinals fan, but I could be speaking incorrectly. But he and I have talked a couple of times. He sent me his spreadsheet. He does these amazing projections that are totally different from mine. And I would like to factor them in, but there's some information exchange happening there. So I'm not going to show you those specifically, but just know that I'm doing them daily and importing, and there's some stuff going on there. So I don't want to explain that. My gallery here, I just manually enter my players. Red means I have their rare. Yellow means I have their limited. Orange means I have both. White means they're common. And then again, midweek, and then I do a midweek limited score, which is just multiplying them by the fidelity bonus. I'm gonna have to change that eventually, but and obviously, like my Kyle Schwarber rare has more than the 15%. I could go through and do that individually, and but as you can see, like the difference between one player and another is not huge, except like Varsho and Ramirez stand out. So it's really not worth going through and doing all of that. I have the same thing over here for pitching. So we'll skip past projections. My rest of season projections, which just use, like I've said before, I use Fangraphs. I use the BAT-X projections for hitters. I tally them up. It gives you that. Sale price, your same value propositions. I use the same sort of weights here for the bonuses, the experience bonuses. Sorry, I need to stop clicking things. I hate this is my least favorite part about Excel. Okay. So yeah, that's just how I do that. Jose Ramirez unique went for 10 Ethereum. That's 2 times my gallery. That's more than 2 times my gallery. So yeah, that's that. I do want to start using Zips because Zips does update, and I could probably take, you know, the average between the two and the projected points the rest of the season. Same with starting pitchers. Points per game is a little different. Points per start. I do have a points per game week hidden in here. It's just divided by 3.5 games, which is not smart. I think that's for hitters actually, but yeah. So relievers, same thing. 2023 Zips, same thing. All right, here's my prices page. People have asked me about this as well. I have a script via Python that automatically scrapes soraredata.com and outputs it into Excel form. And I am learning Python. That was a collaboration with somebody. I cannot tell you how to do it. I simply do not know. So that's that going forward. All right, so I've talked about it a couple of times. I'm trying to do a VORP calculation, value over replacement player, because I want to see exactly how much more worthwhile Spencer Strider is than other relievers. And the same for, you know, like middling relievers as starters, kind of like Jason Alexander. So this is just imported in a different way. This is scraping baseball reference, and what it does is takes games at positions, and if it's over a certain amount, it says whether they're eligible at a position. 0 means they're not. It's binary and shows, you know, the top. But I can't use a VLOOKUP using copy and paste cells, nor in a table. If anyone has any, I will give you a card if someone can show me how to accurately pull this. Say I want Hanser Alberto. I don't even know that he has a card. Hold on. All right, Pete Alonso. So I'm going to look up A9. And what I want is I want to go to rest of season. We'll go to Zips. A through S. So that would give me his points. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S. 24? Oh no, I did that wrong. 19. And then false. So it's gonna give me not available. And it's because it can't pull this. Like this is not, it's not pulling this as text. It's not searching for text, so it says it's not available. So that's why I have not been able to do VORP. If someone understands that within Excel, please let me know, because I'm trying a million different things and it's not working. So I just want to know that information, and then I can give you better projections. Park factors. 100 being league average, below being below league average, above being above league average. So here's your park factors. You can find this on Fangraphs. This is from ESPN using the 2020, or no, this is Fangraphs using the 2021 calculations. So as you can see, like Comiskey, whatever it's called, US Cellular, no, guaranteed rate, way above average. Great American Small Park, the top homer park for lefties. So that should weigh into your calculations. Like, oh, I've got this guy at Arizona. He's a lefty. So, you know, league average, slightly below homers there, but way above for the Reds. And they're about equal. So I'm going to go with the guy there. That's what I use. This is something to help with projections. It's just a reference page. I'm pulling these from Fangraphs. They are not updated. Basically, what I'm trying to do here is, again, a reference page. And I just have that a bunch of times. Here's some StatCast numbers that I was able to pull from Fangraphs, but they're not a complete data set. Here are team hitting statistics. So these factor into my projections as well. What I'm doing is I'm taking like the Dodgers walk percentage divided by the league average. So that's giving me what I, would multiply their walk points by. And you take their walk factor and pair it with the opposing pitching walk factor. You tie those together, and that's how you get an accurate projection of just the walk points. And then you do that for walks, strikeouts, hits, slugging. So like you can tie that in for the average point per base, like single, double, triple. And then WOBA is just kind of another weight, runs created plus kind of another weight. And what I would like to do, and what I don't have a full data set for, is a factor for weighted on base expected. So xWOBA, because that tells me like, oh, they do this, but also they should be doing this. And then that weighs it even further. So that is how I do my projections. Weather should play a factor. I don't have that calculated currently. So there's that. I don't even know what I pulled here. Oh, this is just season statistics. Same here. Your highest scorer on the season as a pitcher is Sandy Alcantara, which just reiterates to me that what matters are innings pitched and strikeouts. But I mean, he's 33 strikeouts behind Garrett Cole. He's 36 points ahead. Okay, so that's that. That is my spreadsheet. That took up a lot of time. We have plenty more questions, and then we're going to do the giveaway at the end. So that is my spreadsheet. Moving on. Thank you, Schwarkal, for that. Noah Lenkite asks, what do you think the impact of having at most 10% of cards being minted this season will have on year one prices in the future? We're at like mint 230 of 5,000 on most limiteds right now, I believe. So there will be a way smaller population of these cards in the future, but they won't have a 5% bonus rookie cards as well. Okay. So basically, I believe what Noah is asking is, will the lack of supply affect the prices going forward, and with how much is going to be available and how many rewards they can give away based on what they haven't sold, and then what's going to change when the 2023 cards come out at the beginning of the season, which is just going to really, I mean, we're talking 10,000 cards per each or per player, and right now we've minted 230 each, and that's because the demand isn't that high. So they said they were going to make like 50% of each card available or something like that. If you know the actual number from um, the press conference thing they did, let me know. But I think they're going to really ramp up auctions during the postseason. If I know anything about MLB's marketing, it's one, that it's bad, and two, that they're going to hit us over the head with this during the postseason. I think the postseason is going to come along. They're going to be like, oh, people are finally all watching the same thing, not local broadcast. Here's a So Rare commercial per break. Like, I think we're going to see so much So Rare advertisements, so many So Rare advertisements come the postseason. And I think like even we might get sick of it, but it needs to be that way. They say you need to see an ad 7 times before you remember it. And we're going to need to really bury people with the idea that this is the future of fantasy baseball. It is, in my opinion, like standard fantasy baseball leagues are fun, but it's nothing compared to being able to, one, own your game. I mean, it's the tagline, and I believe it's a good one and accurate, and what makes it fun. Like, if you were in a fantasy baseball league and it was a true auction draft, if anyone's done a true auction draft, as in you buy into the league for $500 and you get that $500 during auction time, and you pay $400 for Mike Trout and then piecemeal together the rest of a team for $100, like, you're going to be bloated and it's going to be a bad team. But like, you made those decisions, and there is a market for those guys, and you determine the market. That's my favorite thing about this game. So, it depends on how much they up the supply, but that's going to matter with whether the demand matches it. Like, if users are not logging onto the platform, if people are not signing up for So Rare, then our card prices are going to plummet, especially as they saturate the market with more cards. I mean, next season they're going to have to release new cards. Will it be at, the mid-season point? Could be. That's, the All-Star game is when they released it this time, so maybe they wait until then next time. That's what it comes down to. We need more users. If you're watching this, like, you should be spreading the gospel. I think most NFTs are snake oil. I think most of them are garbage. We learned that through NBA Top Shot. If they don't have utility, they are just JPEGs, truly. But Sorare cards are not JPEGs. They are JPEGs that you can use to win more JPEGs that actually, like, their utility is to win other ones. There's an actual market for it. I wouldn't explain it to people like they are actually JPEGs that win you more JPEGs, but they are digital assets. They give you the right to play a player like in a fantasy game. So they're like digital rights, digital keys, essentially. So like you can turn the key on your Mike Trout if you pay for that key. And sometimes turning the right keys will get you more keys. And I think that's a better way to explain it. Probably not the best way, but that's kind of what I'm coming up with at the moment. And the other thing you asked about the Fidelity bonus, Noah, the new guys aren't going to know that. So rookie cards might have more appeal to them. That's a big thing in baseball. I don't really know. I don't think it's a huge deal, but yeah, we're going to lose that 5% Fidelity bonus at some point. Andrew Laird actually ran a study. I don't remember the exact number, but about 75% of MLB players so far also ran a football lineup, a Sorare football lineup. So what that says is that the overwhelming market share is still European folks and Americans who are playing the soccer side. So that means there's a huge market still for the American baseball side, and we need to find it. We need to get those people onto the platform if we want to grow it, and it's as simple as that. I mean, once you get 10,000 people on the platform, 1,000 mints of a rare is not that many. I mean, only 1 in 10 people could possibly own a Shohei Ohtani. So what does that do to Ohtani's price? It goes through the roof. I don't need to explain that to you guys. If you're already doing so rare, supply and demand and market dynamics to a degree. So, okay, moving on. Antonin Radon. Radon. It's close to Rodon, like Joe Rodon. And Carlos Rodon is I'm thinking of the soccer player. Really nice video again. Do you think the price will drop soon or with the end of the season upcoming? And also Jose Maia, I believe it is. What are your thoughts on pricing postseason? Do you think the floor holds or do we see a major drop off in price? The postseason specifically, like I just said, I think we're going to see a rise in prices. I'm optimistic. I think we're going to have growth in the user base. We'll see. If that doesn't happen, though, there's going to be a big drop off. I mean, if we don't have anything to do in the off season, like, are you really going to be buying up a bunch of cards? Are you trying to own every card, or are you trying to grab cards that give you a chance to win? Most people aren't going to be buying cards. The other thing is NBA is coming. NBA is coming right around the time that MLB will be going into the off season, and NBA will own the market and is going to have way more hype, and it will run until the midpoint of the baseball season. So when baseball comes back, you might see those prices rise because if the NBA gets a bunch of Americans on the platform and they're playing and they have some money left over, they might say, oh, maybe I want to go buy some baseball cards. That chance exists. But beside that, I think you have to keep the entire market in perspective. But so playoff teams are going to see a bump. The teams with 100% odds on Fangraphs to make the playoffs are probably already selling high. You're talking the Dodgers, the Braves, the Astros. I've covered this. I think between now and when they start clinching, like the Mariners and some of those not quite 100%, but probably 100% teams, when they clinch a spot, their price is going to rise because they have more utility. When they're eliminated, they should probably crater. So I would plan to buy team stars once they get bounced from the playoffs. I'm talking like Jose Ramirez with the Guardians, 50% chance to make the playoffs and probably won't make a run to the World Series. Bryce Harper is another one. The odds don't favor them. So your best chance to like get the right price points to wait. So and in my last video, I touched on some playoff players to target and like how to find that stuff. So yeah, consider NBA, consider how the season's going to end, consider the user base, whether it's going to increase. Like if we see prices rising, we see users rising, pay attention to Laird on Twitter. There's a lot that factors into the market. So do I think they drop? Yes. But I also think there's a chance they go up. Okay, back to it. Sorry, I'm doing a lot of talking, running out of breath. Moving on. O Emporium asks, still confused about relief pitchers. Do they play all the time? How do you pick them? Projections. Really just projections, because relievers who are scheduled to start, like I talked about before, Jason Alexander, at least his early cards, buy them before they're off the market, first of all, because you can use them at relief pitcher forever, as far as we know. Same with the Strider. Relievers who are projected to start are always going to project better than closers because their scores are they're easier to project. So, yeah, I mean, so you have to consider upside too. So I had a Rowan Wick card I played one time, and he pitched all 3 games in a weekend. He got a save every single time. That's rarely going to happen, but he got me 34 points. Spencer Strider can get you 34 points just by starting a game. But at the same time, like Paulo Espino and Jason Alexander and Drew Hutchison and some of these guys who do start, Clark Schmidt, aren't going to put up 34. So it's kind of something you have to consider between ceiling and floor. A lot of times you don't know that you're going to get any points. You could play Edwin Diaz, the best closer in the game. You don't know if you're going to get any points. He might not pitch. Worse yet, he might pitch one game and get blown up and get you -4 points. And that might be the difference between first and second. You don't know. With relievers or with starters who are relievers, you know they're going to start. If they pitch 4 innings, that's 12 points. They would have to get just blasted to not get you any points. And it's happened. Hell, I've seen Aaron Nola put up a 0 because he just was so bad. So there's no guarantees, but that's how I pick relievers. I pick the ones that are going to start. I pick the ones that are going to get me points, that I know are going to get me points, because that 14 might be the thing that puts me over. So if it's Strider, like he put up a 60 the other day. I was in second place, and I looked at the schedule. I'm like, oh God, Strider's pitching today. He throws a complete game shutout with 16 strikeouts, puts up a 64 out of the relief pitcher spot. And I think I finished 27th. That's where the value over replacement player comes into effect. Like, it's going to be big at reliever with those starters. If you can get a 64 in a spot that normally is going to earn you on average 8 points, that's what you need. Whereas, like, if you break down the starters, Lance Lynn, I think, put up a 51 or something like that. And then there are a couple of guys at like 48. And so the difference between his replacement isn't going to be as big. But when Strider is getting you, I mean, positions worth of points relative to the other relievers, like the value goes beyond everything else. So that's how I pick relievers. Otherwise, first of all, well, let me show you this. This is where I look for relievers. I go to RotoWire right here. Bold means they're going to start. They're confirmed by the team. Non-bold are just projected. So that's how I find Tyler Alexander. He's a reliever. Jason Alexander. He's a reliever. Clark Schmidt. He's a reliever. These guys all have reliever cards, is what I'm saying. I'm sure I could find more. Paulo Espino. We already talked about. I believe Oviedo is a reliever. At Cincinnati, though, you don't want to play him there. If you don't have to. Drew Hutchison. Don't want to play him against Houston, but he is a reliever. Sessa, reliever against Pittsburgh. I will be starting him. He just put up a 28 out of that spot, and there's Strider. So that's how I find it. And that's how I pick them. Otherwise, if you don't have one of those guys, or if you get priced out of them, go by whoever has the best matchups. If you got 4 games against the Reds or the Pirates, and your guy has a better chance of winning those games because those teams are bad. That's how you pick it. You want to pick the guys who are for sure closers and then high leverage relievers. And that I think I have shown you before, and I will show you again. Fangraphs, roster resource, closer depth chart. Felix Bautista, closer. Boston has 3 guys. Clay Holmes, closer. Co-closer. Jordan Romano, the guy. Liam Hendricks, the guy. Emmanuel Clase, the guy. Soto, Barlow, Lopez. And then you can see their workload. That's how I pick. It's a crapshoot unless you have a starter. It really is. It really is. Okay. A couple more questions. Mats Matson. I'm sorry, I'm butchering these names. How to think about stacking in batting order and batting order in general. Should I only buy players 1 through 4, or is it okay to look at 5 and 6 also? So this is interesting. Stacking, I'm questioning myself. I'll show you. I mean, you saw that Toronto team that I had out there earlier. Bo Bichette blows up, and then the other guys are okay. There is correlation. Plenty of times last week, Bo Bichette hit one of his 7 homers or whatever, and George Springer was on base. And Vlad probably wasn't because he didn't get on base all damn weekend. But the thing is there's no guarantee that those guys do anything and that the correlation happens. It's just a value play. Like if the Jays score 21 points or 21 runs in a game, there's a good chance Springer hit a homer and Vlad hit a homer and Bo hit a homer, and some of them had 6 RBIs, and sometimes the other guy was on for the run, and you just get those extra correlation points that don't exist when, like, say I'm playing, JD Martinez and Bo Bichette. Like, Bo Bichette's homers have 0% chance of driving in JD Martinez because they're on different teams. There's literally zero correlation. So that's what you get. But there's no guarantee it actually happens. I see most teams that do win are playing stacks because when something positive happens, when you get that correlation, there's a good chance you get the points that do push you over the top. Whereas when you're scattered, you just have to hope all of your guys go off. And there's just less tie in there. There's statistically less % chance of that happening. So that's not necessarily what you asked, but I just wanted to explain stacking a little more. Batting order. Things to keep in mind. The guys at the top of the lineup get more opportunities to hit. It's that easy. That is why now you start to see hitters, the best hitters, move up from the 3 and 4 spot to the 2 spot. Vlad Guerrero is one of those guys. Mike Trout hits second. Those are the 2 examples, but those are 2 of the best hitters in the game. Scoring is cumulative. So the more opportunities you get to score points, the better. And just like the longer a guy pitches, the more chance he has to get more strikeouts. Also more chance to give up more runs. The difference is with hitters, say my guy gets 1 extra at bat because in the top of the 9th, they're due up 3rd. So they get their 5th rotation through the lineup. The 9th guy is about to bat for the 4th time. Your guy in the 1st spot is about to bat for the 5th. So that's just an extra opportunity created. If they strike out, you lose 1 point. Not really going to affect you. Not going to change the game. If he gets that extra chance and he homers, that's 16 points. So it's, again, a value proposition. You're just trying to build opportunities to score. So it also is generally going to happen that they're the best player or one of the best hitters in the lineup. That's why they're hitting up there. It's okay to look at 5th or 6th. You just have to know what the trade-off is. If the number 4 hitter is like 0.2 Ethereum and the number 5 hitter is 0.045 and their stats are pretty similar, then just take the cheaper guy. You just have to know that, like, so like the 9 hitter, like I just talked about, he turns over into the 1 hitter. So there's more of a chance that he's going to correlate with your 9 hitter is going to correlate with the number 1 and 2 guy in the lineup. but a number 1 and a number 5 are less likely because number 1 leads off the game, he walks, and then 2, 3, and 4 all get out. There's no chance of correlation. For 9, if he gets on, the 1 automatically has a chance to drive him in. See what I'm saying? And I mean, oftentimes you're going to get the lineup turning over. Only once does the 5 have even that much of a chance to bat with the 1 on base. There are oftentimes like the 9 hitter gets out to lead off an inning, and then 1 gets on, and then 2, 3, and 4, one of them has to get on for 5, or 2 of them have to get on for even the 5 hitter to come up with the number 1 on base. So think 4 guys ahead. Sorry, I'm running out of. I got a tickle in my throat. I'm talking too much. Last thing, and then I'll blow through these last 2, and we'll do a giveaway. Not because they're bad questions, but they're a little easier to explain. If the Angels score 21 points, there 21 runs, there's a chance that Trout and Ohtani don't do anything. Like there's a logical chance that that doesn't happen, and then like Luis Rengifo and Taylor Ward and Jared Walsh, they score 60 points each, and then you having those guys in doesn't matter. Good question though. That's a good strategy question. I think that's one of the best. All right, couple more, 2 more actually, and then we'll do the giveaway, and then I'm gonna have to go like drink some tea. Do you think, Rufus G, do you think we'll ever see a burning mechanism within Sorare? For example, trade in or burn a certain number of lower tier commons or limiteds to get a single high tier common or limited card? Thanks for doing the giveaway. No problem. I think this is a good idea. I know Top Shot did it. I could see it happening if there's a backlog of cards and they're like not going to be able to give them away. The problem with that is that means bad things for the platform. If they can't sell cards to the point where they're like, oh, you can just take them if you just give us more cards, that means that the platform is probably going to die. In my opinion, I could be wrong. I could see them doing it with common cards, but if they did it with commons, they wouldn't be giving away free money. And I think that's a good incentive for people who've been on the platform long. Like give them a better opportunity to win those limiteds. I think that makes sense. With limiteds, I mean, a good limited still going for like 50, 60 bucks. If you start doing that across the platform, depending on how many people are on the platform, like you have a chance to lose a boatload of money. But I mean, from a marketing perspective, that's just, all right, we're willing to take a $6,000 loss to like get people reinvested or like get people excited. So that makes sense. Last one. This is funny. Minito says, I would love to win Darrin Ruf. Maybe you will. Do you think in the future there will be legend MLB cards? Absolutely. They're already doing it in football. Baseball is a game that relies heavily on history. It's part of the reason why they're so bad at marketing is because they lean on the history and a bunch of old folks thinking that, living in the past. It is what makes the game great. Records, numbers, chasing ghosts, stuff like that. Really cool part of baseball. And I think there's definitely going to be legends. MLB The Show already has licensed legends. It's a big part of the game. I see no reason why it won't happen here. It's a money-making opportunity for the estate of the likely dead players, hopefully still alive players who are going to benefit off of NFTs. Can you imagine a guy like Mike Schmidt, if you know who he is, benefiting off of an NFT? Do you think he ever would have thought that is a possibility? If you don't know how legends in soccer work, it's essentially like if you get a Babe Ruth Yankees legend card, he gets the best outfield score for a Yankee. So it's their position and their former team as it is issued. Obviously, like guys like they did a Julio Franco card. It would depend on what card they issue him as one of his 21 teams or whatever. So that's how that works. If you get a Tom Seaver card and Max Scherzer and Jacob deGrom both pitch that week, you would get one of their scores, whichever is better. And that's actually interesting because most pitchers don't pitch in consecutive game weeks. So with the Tom Seaver card, he has utility every single game week. So that's pretty cool. You have to keep in mind though, there would probably be separate competitions for legends, so it'd be different. And most people who've bought legends cards in football are not happy with the utility so far. So it's cool, but I think they should do it. I think they will do it, but don't like spend a bunch of money early. So All right, let's do a giveaway, huh? For my throat collapses on itself. All right, here we go. Parameters for this. I said you had to ask a question, so I'm sorting by question marks. I had one of you drop a question mark into the comments to make you eligible. So if you didn't ask a question, I'm sorry. I will reach out to the winner. Here we go. Antonin asking about the price drop. Antonin Redon, you are a winner of the Darrin Ruf card. Drop a message here on the video or reach out to me on Twitter at LexHooper, or can't send me an offer. Just let me know your Sorare name. Find a way to let me know your Sorare name. Drop it in the comments, whatever, and I will find you and I will send you your Darrin Ruf limited card. Way to go. We'll do another giveaway on Monday. Don't forget to find that giveaway from early in the show. Do that one if you didn't win this one. Retweet, follow, and that's the game. Good luck to our future giveaway winners. And let's see, who do we want to give away? How about that? Let's look into that. Let's find my cards. Who is my second limited reward? On Monday, we will be giving away Rowan Wick. Already talked about him. That's our giveaway for next week. Cubs co-closer. Ooh, rough go of it lately. But again, like he won me one of my rare cards by a big week that he had. So Antonin, this is your guy. He plays for the Mets now, so he's gonna be in the playoffs. So good stuff. All right, that's it. That's all I got for you. Hopefully the mailbag helped. Think about some questions if you have them. Don't ask them just yet. Ask them on the next video because that's what's going to make you eligible for the Rowan Wick giveaway. But if you have any more questions that you don't want to save and you want to answer it immediately, drop them here. I'll answer them. I always try and get around to these questions and answer them as soon as I can. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the great questions. A lot of stuff that I hadn't thought about, and I'm glad we addressed them. Until next time, I'm going to get a glass. I'm going to get a cup of tea. So I'll catch you next time. Thanks. See ya.